Hi guys, Omar with Overlanding Just Cause, and in this video I am going to change the oil in the GX. Now I've got all the things that I need for it. Just real quick story time. I used to change oil on all my cars all the time, and then one time I was in a pinch and didn't have time to do it, and I went to one of the shops that you literally just roll up. They change the oil in 10 minutes, and I thought to myself, that's like the best thing ever, right? Then I just kept doing that, right? Just busy, don't have the time, whatever the case is, being lazy, whatever. Until the last time that I took the GX to get the oil changed, the guy, and it was one of those pull up, you know, they're underneath the car or whatever. The guy ended up putting the skid plate back on, and it was pretty much halfway hanging off. He didn't tighten the bolts all the way. And of course, I'm in the vehicle the whole time waiting for this quick oil change. But when I get home and I look underneath, and I didn't hear any rattling, nothing like that, but just to be on the safe side, I decided to check, and sure enough, the skid plate hanging halfway off. So I told myself that I will start changing the oil on the GX. The hardest part is gonna be getting this 50-pound plate off, taking it on and off, but you know, every few thousand miles, that's not a big deal. So let's get to it. My first time doing it on the GX. I've got the oil right there, ZOW20. It's gonna take 8.2 quarts. And the only other thing that you need is this oil filter wrench. I guess Toyota has a different way of doing it. Usually I'm just used to the oil filter going in, screw it on, screw it off, replace the oil filter, but this is actually a piece that, that you actually need to change the oil on the GX. I've got the oil filter itself, and then what I decided to do is get this valve, this Femodo drain valve right here. That way I don't have to mess with a drainage plug anymore. This will replace it. It locks into place, and then from here on out, when I change the oil, it's just simply moving the tab over and it just starts draining from there. So one less step to make life a little bit easier, but other than that, let's get to it. There's the drain plug right here. So let's go ahead and take that off. That's working out pretty good. So here's the Femodo valve, and this thing seems like it's going to be pretty cool. There's a safety cap right here that you would take off, and right now if you look inside, you can tell that the valve is closed. Another, I guess, safety measure so that it doesn't open up while you're driving is there's this little hook right here, so you have to lift up and over that hook, and that opens up the valve. You can actually see my finger on the other side. And then to close it up, I'm trying to catch it on the camera. Boom. And again, it locks into place so it can't be pushed because, again, that little lip there. And then this piece just hooks right in. So another safety measure. Let's go ahead and put this on. Right, so now we're going to take the air filter off. Never used one of these, so let's do it. So this is what we're looking at right here. I'm gonna take it off. Ah, mother of all things good. All right, so let's talk about what we have. This right here is the oil filter itself. guess it just comes out. This is different than what I have. Yeah, that's the right part. Here's the new one, old one. See, it's the same size, it just doesn't have this plastic cap on it. New O-ring, which will go replace this old one. So each time you replace the oil filter, you'll replace the O-ring. There's the old one. A little light coat of oil on it. There we go. Now we put it back on. And this drain plug right here, if you notice, the people that changed it last, the same ones that didn't put the skid plate on correctly, didn't put a crush washer in here. And there should be a crush washer in here. So another reason now why I'll just do it myself, do it correctly. But I am going to keep this just in case that fails on me. I'll have the OEM oil plug. All right, so I have the drain plug in, I have the oil filter in. Now it's time to put 8.2 quarts inside the engine. So it takes 8.2 quarts. I put 5 in, I need 3 more. So this is what I did. This is the quart side, so that little hash mark is 1. That right there is 2, 3, 4, and then the top right there line where my fingernail is 5. But I'm going from the top down, so I counted 1, 2, 3 hash marks, and then I'm gonna guesstimate 0.2. Is about right there, maybe a little bit more, but yeah. So I'm gonna keep pouring and stopping and checking until this oil line is right there, and that's as good as it's gonna get. It's right on my line. That's as close as I'm gonna get it. So yeah. All right, now it's cleanup time. Every time I change the oil in the car, I always start it up, let it run for a couple minutes just to let the oil circulate and get into that oil filter and before I actually start driving it. So there it is. The only thing that's left now is I'm going to drain the old oil back into this container right here. I'm going to clean the skid plate. I already cleaned underneath as much as I could, just wipe down, there's a lot of dirt. And now I'm gonna clean off that skid plate, put it back on, and I'm done. So guys, if you have any questions about changing the oil on this GX, the biggest thing is this little tool right here. I think I could actually just use my hand to unscrew it, but it shouldn't be, 100 pounds of pressure just to unscrew it. But this definitely does help. Other than that, the Fumoto valve that you see, I think it's gonna be a good addition, quick and easy. So now from this point forward, I don't have to mess with the drain plug. I can just pull the lever, everything leaks out, pull the lever back up, and I'm done. It's gonna be, from this point forward, changing the oil on the GX, just because I don't like how those drive through, 10-minute oil change places. They're super quick, and attention to detail is kind of important to me. So anyway, if you have any questions, guys, leave them in the comments, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.